the United States is just beginning to climb out of what many have referred to as the worst economy since the Great Depression. In order to combat this, the government has proposed and implemented many controversial ideas, citing actions taken by Franklin D. Roosevelt during the 1930s. The role of government in times of economic uncertainty has been explored many places in history, but one of the most fascinating is here in Arthurdale, West Virginia. During the Depression, out-of-work coal miners were huddled by the hundreds of thousands in coal camps.
One of the largest and arguably the worst as far as the human condition was Scott's Run in Monongalia County, just outside of Morgantown. And Mrs. Roosevelt had started to hear some of these stories that were coming out of Scott's Run, and she wanted to see for herself. So she visited Scott's Run incognito, basically just showed up in a car one day and saw the conditions there, saw the poverty, the destitution.
Poverty and the very real fear of communist uprising from these coal camps convinced Congress to greenlight a New Deal plan in West Virginia. In 1933, the federal government purchased land from Richard Arthur and began construction of a planned community in the hopes of providing people with the means to become self-sufficient. Glenn Lazier was 6 months old when his family moved from Scott's Run to stay in the Arthur Mansion while the first group of homes was built.
Well, the government moved us then from Cassville to Arthurdale here between Christmas and New Year's 1933. And we spent the first week in a hotel in Reedsville, and then we moved into what was known at that time as the Arthur Mansion. And that's where we lived for about 3 years.
From the start, the project received criticism. A number of construction delays and issues caused many to question the wisdom of allowing bureaucrats in Washington to plan and finance a community in the middle of West Virginia. The project continued, however, and by midsummer of 1934, most of the 165 families chosen had been moved into their new homes. They were greeted by all the wonders of modern living, including a stove, a refrigerator, a radiator, and furniture constructed in Arthurdale. Even the school was state-of-the-art, as it provides students with hands-on experiences. The progressive aspects of the plan gave the homesteaders a higher standard of living than most Americans at the time, and accounted for the project's $2 million price tag. Critics attacked the project's cost, but Eleanor Roosevelt consistently supported the government's actions. She visited Arthurdale frequently to garner support and to hand out the diplomas at the high school graduations.
She made several trips here. Would always come to our living room and pick me up and carry me around when I was just a little baby. And so my sisters and my mom and dad got to spend time with the owner when she was here.
The government began to pull out in the 1940s as the United States moved into a war economy. In the end, the cooperative businesses and factories the government created failed, and the project was unsuccessful in creating a self-sustained community. However, there is little doubt the project made a difference in the lives of the homesteaders. Arthurdale's biggest success may be the community that it created. The residents are proud of their history. The nonprofit organization Arthurdale Heritage was formed in 1984 to promote the area's unique past.
It's just, Arthurdale has just been a place that I've been fortunate to live in.